Are we live? Anybody out there? It's your girl Tanya. Miss Primetime Reviews coming at you. I hope everybody has been having a wonderful week thus far. I know it's only Tuesday, and a sister has got to get to these coins real quick. I was supposed to go live tonight, but I thought I'd go live real quick with a recap of Love and Hip Hop because I watched Love and Hip Hop last night and also Basketball Wives. And I wanted to do a recap on both of those, but I figured I'd do them in two different segments um, this time. So, see if I can get in a little conversation with you real quick. Now, if you all remember, on the last episode of Love and Hip Hop, this camera just right. We were discussing how Jasmine has been basically trying her best to get in contact with Rashida so that she could apologize to her and tell her how oh so sorry she is about breaking up her relationship, her and Kurt's relationship, and also getting knocked up as well and having a baby by Kurt. So in this episode, it starts off with Jasmine. She's having a discussion with Tiara, and Tiara, remember, is the one who brought Jasmine to Rashida's event on the last episode when she was opening up her, having a grand opening for her new clothing store, Pressed, in Houston. So and they're discussing how everything went down on the last episode and how Jasmine explains how, I guess she was feeling kind of embarrassed and everything or whatnot, or kind of down because although she got to, say, I guess, apologize to Rashida, Rashida also read her all of her rights and clowned her in front of everybody inside the restaurant or the bar, club, whatever it was that they were at later in the evening after Prest had his grand opening. And so, also, if you remember in the last episode, Just Brittany, the singer from Houston who had performed after the grand opening, she had told Tiara that she didn't, well, 2 seasons before last, 2 episodes before last, she had told Tiara that she didn't want her to bring Jasmine because she didn't want to be involved and she was going to be performing for Rashida and she didn't want to have anything to do with that. Now, this last episode, Just Brittany is talking about, I'm on Jasmine's side now that I got to know her and everything. And I'm like, now that you got to know her, you just said last episode that you didn't want to have anything to do with that issue. So I guess you know, since a span of almost no time, you guys are cool enough to where you picking sides. So, that's all good and everything. And Tiara tells her, well, you just need to give Rashida time. And, she was hurt, severely wounded by everything that happened. Just give her time because she needs time to heal. So, in the previews of last episode for this week, you saw how Rashida had made arrangements for everybody to go to a farm. And basically, I think they call it a dude farm. I don't know what they call it, a dude farm or whatnot. But anyway, so Rashida, she gathers up everybody, all her friends, and all the troublemakers, and everybody who's been fighting. Tokyo, Spice, everybody. And she takes them down to the farm, and it's called the Silver Spur Ranch. So, and then on the ride down there, one of the buses has a tire blowout, and they're clowning and everything in the parking lot. While they're waiting for another bus to come, but then eventually they get there, and I found it real funny how Tokyo, she was talking about well, I guess you know how they say it's okay if you talk about yourself, as long as nobody else talks about you. But what Tokyo said was really funny because her and Spice has basically been getting into it because of Spice talking down on her about her weight. And then Tokyo had me falling out when she was talking about she's not riding no horses down there because that would be animal cruelty. Because I guess she was joking about her own weight, but that's cool, Tokyo. It's okay to joke about yourself every now and then. It's all right, just as long as nobody else is disrespecting you. So they get down to the ranch, and it's real nice. Everybody's going around picking out their rooms and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, what's going to become of this? Because Carly Red, who, I said in the episode of last week's episode, she is basically reminds me of Sheree from Housewives of Atlanta. I decided to call her the Bone Collector because she seems to carry all the bones. So I already know that something's going to pop off because of Spice and Tokyo not getting along. So after they get settled into the ranch, the next morning, the first thing on Rashida's mind, speaking with Kurt, mind you, them two, he moved back into the home. She let him move back into the home a couple of episodes, trying to work things out. But while they at the ranch, they in the same room, but yeah, he still got to sleep in his own bed. So you see that in this episode how they still got things to work on. So they're not that close yet, but they getting there. And the first thing that she, thinks about when she gets up in the morning is about Jasmine because she's kind of upset because Kurt seems to still not, as she says, have Jasmine on a leash. Now, I don't know why Rashida thinks that Kurt is supposedly going to have Jasmine on a leash or be able to put Jasmine in her space or, control her or whatnot. I mean, he's not even, from what's depicted on the TV show now, allegedly, he's not even spending time with the child that they had together, outside of his marriage, which is the whole reason why Jasmine, was basically stalking. Like I said in the last episode, it seems like she's just being stalkerish. And if you watched the episode last night, that's exactly what Rashida said. See, Rashida, me and you, we see eye to eye. She told Kurt, she's acting really stalkerish, coming all the way down to Houston to, give her an apology, as she claims she wants to give her an apology. And Rashida thinks that Kurt needs to get her on a leash. And I figure out that that's probably not going to happen. I think Jasmine is going to keep intruding until she gets exactly what she wants. And then come to find out last night from the episode when Jasmine was talking with Tiara and just Brittany, she claims that everything was just so hunky dory and fine, and you know everything while why they were messing around, her and Kurt, and why they were, I don't know if you want to call it dating, being he's married, but why they were messing around. That's what I'll just keep calling it. And she said Kurt was there all the time up until Cannon, which is their son's name, was born. He was at the delivery and everything. So I'm like gagging because if you up there for all of that and in her life for all of that and throughout the duration of her pregnancy and then you there when the baby is born, but as soon as Rashida finds out, you just basically done with it, like taking a break, taking a breather. I understand you trying to get your relationship back with Rashida, because y'all on the rocks, shaky and everything, had broken up. She finally let you back home, even though y'all still living a separate arrangement, sleeping arrangements at home. You still back in the crib where your kids with her are. But you get the paternity test. I mean, most likely she done already seeked, wages or child support or, however to make sure Cannon is taken care of by both of you guys. But I think it's just more than just her seeking an apology. I mean, seeking to apologize to Rashida. She's been out of shape because you was there this whole time, and she understands what she did. She understands that she broke up your family. Well, and it's not she. It takes two to tango. They both broke up that relationship. But she's at the point where it's like, okay, just because Rashida find out, do not mean that you don't have to spend time with your son. Come spend time with your son. Her son is getting older. Their son is getting older. And yeah, he should be around. So I'm hoping, Kurt comes to realize this, and Rashida has already told him several times, that's your baby. You guys handle that. So it's not like she's giving him an alternative. You can't spend time with him. Stay away from her. Yeah, that's your child, but you know, so he has to eventually do the right thing, and I hope he does. And so the next day they go get up in the morning for breakfast, and I knew it was coming. But Tokyo and Spice, I don't know what it is with Spice. She's just always so revved up. Like Tokyo was saying, like, is it because of where she's from? She's always coming at her, and I don't know if Spice feels threatened. Like, she's messing with Tokyo's ex Tobias, and I don't know how serious that is because we just recently found this out a few episodes ago. But so I don't know why she's hell bent on making Tokyo feel try to throw jabs at her all the time. But anyway, the two get into it again because of Spice's mouth, and basically you see young Jock, he's getting out the way, like he already know, I'm getting out the way, ain't nobody throwing no hot food at me or anything like that. And so Tokyo goes on to try to explain, the reason why her and Spice got into it is because she was being, real disrespectful, and she was telling her she don't need to eat anymore because, throwing jabs about her weight and everything. And then Sierra, she gets thrown into it because she's wondering why, Tokyo has so much hate against Spice. I mean, why Spice has so much hate against Tokyo. Then come to find out in the middle of the conversation, Carly has been going back and telling her information, telling Spice information about, and that's why I said I'm gonna start calling her the Bone Collector. So Carly been running her mouth, and Sierra, she got upset like that. So they started arguing, and Rashida tries to break it up, and uh, Jock gets up and he gets out the way, and then they eventually security guards jump in, of course, and as usual they get Tokyo. She ends up on the ground as usual, and so after that, Sierra is in the middle of it, and she gets into it with you know Estelita, and so Tokyo basically they end up taking her and setting her to the side. Then Spice, she ends up getting one of the rides. Estelita, I can't never say her name right, but I think she's the Puerto Rican, that's Mexican. I'm not Spanish. I don't know what she is, but then she gets into a ride as well. And so while they dragging away Escalita, her and BK gets into an argument. I don't know. I think I need to watch this again because I didn't understand why her and BK, was getting into it. But anywho, and then, after it all gets broken up, Carly somehow find her way out of the area, and she's walking on the road, and Jock goes up to her and, chasing her down, trying to find out, what's wrong with you because you kept talking about your dad and everything when, Sierra and them was, confronting you about, you running behind people backs, spreading business and running her mouth. And comes to find out, Carly, her dad, she's still trying to get her dad up there, because he's been sick and she wants to take care of him. and yada yada yada. So I do feel sorry for her dad, and I wish the best with her dad and everything, because I've been through that before with a sick parent. So but anywho, so after that, Rashida's like, I'm gonna talk to both of these ladies, Tokyo and Spice, and try to get them to calm down and come to a resolution. And I thought that was good of her. So she brings them two together before the campfire. She wants them to have their little time before everybody else gets there. And I almost thought they was about to fight again because it seemed like Tokyo, trying to be calm and be ladylike, and Spice is still, you know, seems like always just on attack, on defense. So anyway, they eventually squash it. Spice is like, I don't like you calling me bitches, and Tokyo's like, well, if I call you one, just call me one back. That's just how I talk. And basically, it was like, you know what? You don't mess with me, I don't mess with you. You don't say anything about me, I don't say anything about you, and it's all good. So anyway, so the rest of the crew gets there, and they find out that Tokyo and Tokyo and Spice, basically has agreed to basically disagree. And I think I find it funny also how Carly Red, Escalita, and I'm still not understanding what the deal is with Escalita. But Melissa, now the next day, actually, was that the next day? Melissa, now, Melissa, she's the gay girl with the short hair, real cute girl. So she goes and she talks to Tokyo, and she basically had tried to calm her down as well. And, you know, just trying to make sure that that she feels okay and everything. And so she was also the one who said that she would help make a meeting come about with her and Spice. So anyway, then Rashida sets it up. So yeah, they're cool right now. So we're gonna see how long this lasts, and I'm going to eventually come back tonight and give you the recap of Basketball Wise, because I think that show was a better watch last night than Hip Hop Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So, I'm going to get off of here and get headed for work before I be late. I hope I got everything in and didn't miss anything because I know I'm rushing. But again, I hope you guys are having a good week. Um, I will talk to you later this evening, and I'm out.